As we dive deeper into 2026, I love to do my annual net worth video. Did it in January of last year for the first time, and this is going to be the second annual. So you could obviously check out that content and compare it to this one. But this year, I reached a pretty big milestone, a couple pretty big milestones that I'm pretty proud of, and I wanted to kind of be accountable to myself and the other people who subscribe to this channel and share my journey as I continue here. I think these videos are also pretty motivating, as you could see someone else your age doing particularly well and think, hey, I might need to maximize this contribution, or, oh, there's a better way, a tax advantage way for me to invest here. Everyone can share their thoughts. So I've been using the website Empower to track my net worth for the past 3 or 4 years now. I think it's a pretty good tool that encapsulates everything that you kind of want to see in a net worth tool, showing all your different accounts and being able to input a mortgage, different types of loan, and structuring it in such a way that it's pretty clear where your cash buckets are, your investment buckets, and then a group for your loans, vehicles, and mortgages. So I would recommend this website to anyone who's looking to start their own journey and track their net worth as well. So last year I hit $100,000 for the first time. This year I built on that significantly, and hopefully you enjoy this video enough that you watch my part 2 video, which should be coming out in a couple days, where I discuss specifically how I built this net worth to the point it is, kind of investment vehicles, my plan, how I calculate my 6-month emergency fund, and other things, which I think will be helpful to anyone who's in the beginning of their finance journey. So let's start. So the first bucket of my net worth is cash accounts. This is checking and saving. This amounts to $46,720 for 2026. This includes a joint checking and savings account and a bunch of different individual accounts that I have for myself. About $12,000 is in checking and the rest is in savings. So as you can see, it's pretty predominant to the savings portion, and I'd like to keep it that way. One thing I like about Empower so much is you can see where you were a year ago at the same time. So just last year, I was about $19,000 at the same time last year, and now I've grown to $46,000. That's a significant improvement, almost tripled my cash accounts, and I think it's a really great development to be having here. So I don't have a specific goal for 2027 for these cash accounts. As my family grows and expands, I want this number to hover between $50,000 and $60,000, unless I'm doing a big purchase like purchasing a home or planning to buy land or saving up for some sort of large down payment. Then this account will ebb and flow and expand for those specific reasons. But as of right now, I have no plans for that, so we'll probably hover around where it is right now for the next couple of years, God willing. And this will allow me to invest even more, as I have nothing to put into savings. I could just invest, and that's where our next group of accounts comes in. So next I have investments. There are 6 investment vehicles here. They're all individual accounts for myself. Vehicles include a rollover IRA, a Roth IRA, a 401k, an HSA, 529s, and some cryptocurrency. So in total, this accounts for $128,000. Obviously, it ebbs and flows every day with investment accounts. About 41% of these investment dollars are in my rollover IRA, as I've had 3 different 401k plans in the past years of work, and I've just rolled them all over. And about 29% of my investment money is in my Roth IRA, which I've been maxing out for the past couple of years. 12% of my investment dollars are in cryptocurrency, mostly Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum. About 10% in my HSA, which should be expanding as my family grows and I go from having a single HSA plan to a family HSA. And then 5% of my portfolio is in my current employer's 401k. I maxed this out for the first time this past year, and all of it's in my rollover now, but I should be maxing it out again. So this should grow and expand pretty significantly this year. And finally, 2% are in 529 plans for educational expenses in the future for little ones as my family expands. So as you can see in this chart, investments have grown pretty significantly. As I started off the year at $70,000 and now at $128,000, that's 70% growth in just 1 year. And I would attribute most of this to being consistently able to invest. So every single one of these accounts, besides the rollover IRA, I invested to every month on the dot, even bi-weekly with paycheck things like 401k, and continuing to do that is the main reason why this has grown so much. I only invest in S&P 500 ETFs or index funds, and I will continue to do that moving forward, besides the little Bitcoin I have on the side. So before we get to the negative sides of net worth, I wanted to invite you all to like and subscribe. Hopefully this channel is informative and gives you some idea of where I am in my financial growth and kind of the types of things I am interested in. This channel mostly posts economic stock and personal finance finance discussions and everything tangential to money. So give this a like and subscribe if you're interested in this. So next we have debt. So I'd like to start off with mentioning the credit card debt I have, $2,332 this year, which is significantly lower than last year just because it so happened that my payoff date right before I made this video. Another key thing to mention is this is not accruing any interest. This is just credit cards that I churn monthly to pay off immediately the statement arrives. So last year I was speaking pretty proudly about the fact that I only had 3 more months to pay off my car. Unfortunately, the car was totaled last year, so I only got to enjoy about 9 months of a paid off vehicle. But that's why you have savings. That's why you have an emergency fund. So if something happens, you could pivot and purchase something new. So I got a new 2025 Honda CR-V, which is worth about $30,000, but that means I had to take out debt. So $20,166 in debt for a car loan, which is at 4.49%. Pretty low in compared to other car loans, but still debt that I did not want to have be part of my portfolio for this year. But as you can see, I was able to still invest and do a lot of things I wanted to do this year, and I'm going to take this new debt in stride. Hopefully over the next 3 years, anyone who follows or subscribes can see that the car debt is slowly going away, and finally in 2029, after my 3-year loan is done, will be completely gone. So that's everything I have to include in my net worth. So for this year, drum roll please, I have a total net worth of $182,000, which is a pretty great feeling. Just doing this video gives me the perspective of where I was last year. Seeing how my accounts grew and all the different metrics that I really track is really helpful and gives me kind of a level of gratefulness I probably wouldn't have if I didn't do these videos. So my net worth has grown almost $80,000 in this past year alone, which is almost insane, almost 80% in a single year, and I didn't feel like I was getting much richer, but obviously the incremental decisions you make all the difference. So if you wanted to expand out from the original video I made, it's $150,000 in growth, going from $30,000 to $180,000 in just 2 years. I'm not tracking for anything specific like financial independence number. I just want to put myself in a good position for my family and to improve our lives as much as possible. So for next year, I don't have any specific goals, just like this past year, but hopefully these numbers continue to grow and expand as I go to $200,000 hopefully this next year. Even if I just maxed out my 401k, we would be able to reach $200,000 if the market ends up being flat. But obviously I'm investing in a lot more than just my 401k, so hopefully for next year the numbers are close to $250,000. But if the stock market does really well, just like it has in the past couple of years, then we could potentially see $300,000 in 2027 or early 2027. Either way, I'm really happy with the developments I've been going through. This money gives me flexibility to do the things I want to do, spend time with family, and allows me to live the life that I really want to. If this type of video interests you and you want to follow my financial journey, if you like this type of stuff, please like and subscribe. I'm going to continue to churn out more content when I have free time on the weekends as my life gets busier and busier. But either way, share any thoughts or questions you have for me in the comments. I try to reply and respond to each and every one, and share your own wealth journey, how you got there and what specific milestones or barriers you had to deal with to get to the point you are in right now.